I'm listening to this SOCOM FEAN video, and it's just outrageous. It's just funny. This guy is hilarious. This guy is such a jokester on a level of unprecedented magnitude. He's just, I mean, I can't really overestimate or overemphasize how much of a circus clown this SOCOM FEAN is. This guy is off on so many tangents. He thinks that all these different people that post on his page are the same person using different accounts. He can't get it through his thick skull that he is being scrutinized by all these different people. He just can't come to the realization, come to grips with himself, and grasp the reality around him. He's a denier of reality. And that's what's so funny about it, is he doesn't understand that these people have pulled his hoe card and said, yo, SOCOM FEAN, you're a buster, you're a lame. All this crap that you keep trying to say on the internet is not true. This SOCOM FEAN is so many different terrible and bad things. This guy has everything wrong about his knowledge of, his so-called knowledge of gang activity. It's absurd and asinine. Check out what this guy has on his page. He has these little stick figure videos with these little blue guys and these little red guys. And he sits back and he posts all these different things. And he makes these little comments on the internet about people he doesn't even know. This guy has this stuff on his page. And now he claims he lives on the East Coast. And he doesn't show his face because he's afraid. He calls other people bullies. Bullies. But at the same time, he's posting this stuff like blood killer, slob killer, all these things to disrespect blood gang members in the United States of America. And then when he gets caught in his lies, he retracts his statements. He takes them back. He had a bunch of stuff on his page that he removed because he knew that it was ridiculous. He had all this stuff, all these say. And SOCOM, I'm going to tell you again because you didn't get it the first time. You're acting like a special needs nigga. I'm going to explain it to you again in slow motion. The saying, what's poppin', is not exclusive to Chicago. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, you stupid punk? What's poppin' is not in Chicago exclusively. What's poppin' is an expression that was used on the West Coast for over 10 years by not just Bloods, but Crips and 13s, in other words, Southerners, Serranos, 14s, Norteños, Northerners, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asian Americans, Filipino Americans, anybody, everybody, Native Americans. People were saying it. Pacific Islanders, my homies from Samoa. Come on, man, you don't know what you're talking about, SOCOM? Get real, man. What's poppin' is not a vice lord term exclusively. Do you understand that now? How many people from the state of California have to tell you they were using the term what's poppin' before vice lords in Chicago? It's a term that people were using on the streets. So when you hear the UBN video that you keep quoting and citing from television, you keep playing little snippets on your page of a video from television about UBN, United Blood Nation. Do you understand when those investigators, when those people say that what's poppin' meant one thing to the Bloods in New York? That was just to them. What's poppin' was an expression used on the West Coast by everybody who was kicking ebonics and street lingo for over 10 years. It had nothing to do with what the vice lords were talking about in Chicago. You're so stupid, man. You're stupid. You keep grouping these ideas. You keep taking this idea and saying that it is exclusive to one group of people. What's poppin' is not necessarily a gang expression. It means what's going on. What's happening. Okay? Do you get that? Do you understand there are people on your page checking you? Those people are not just one person. Those people are from all over the United States. There's people on your page from Chicago telling you to shut your mouth. There's people on your page from New York telling you you're a stupid punk. There's people from LA, certified gang members. They've told you that you're a bitch. Nobody's cyberbullying somebody who claims to be in a gang like yourself. You claim to be in a gang. You claim to be affiliated with Crips. And you're on your page talking about blood killer, slob killer. But then when somebody rebuttals you or says something about your stupid posts on your YouTube page, then you turn around like a little girl and you start saying that you're being cyberbullied. Oh, you're such a victim, so calm. Come on, you're not a victim. And then you call people pussies. You have a pattern. It's called an MO, modus operandi. Your pattern is that you go on the attack and you attack all these people with this knowledge that you think you have that you don't really have because you're not from the West Coast and you don't understand what goes on in real gangs on the West Coast. You don't know. And then you say in the little statement, the little visual art that you got, the little screenshot, you said, I don't mean all of them, because that's your pattern. You go on the attack, somebody pulls your hoe card and says, look, hoe, little hoe cake, cupcake, little bitch ass nigga, you ain't got it right. And then you turn around and say, everybody makes mistakes. What kind of gang member says that? You're in a Crip gang and you're claiming that you make mistakes and that you should be entitled to your own mistakes? Come on, man. Real Crips on the West Coast, they don't go out and do drive-bys and missions and whatnot and then turn around and say, we all make mistakes, man. You know, I used the gang expression when I was on the streets and I didn't get it right. I tried to use some little sing-songy little rhyme and I didn't get it right. But you know, man, we all make mistakes. That's what you were doing. It is so preposterous. It's absurd. You're acting like a little fucking girl with pink panties on. And you're saying all this shit that isn't true. What's poppin' was expressed and said by millions of people in not just Chicago, and it was completely unrelated to any Vice Lord expression. The link that you're talking about Bloods and Vice Lords having an alliance is a U.S. government document. It's a document from the U.S. government. And then you turn around and you say that the government doesn't know what's going on the streets. You're so fucking stupid, man. The U.S. government knows everything that goes on the streets. That's your downfall. That's your fucking problem, is that you think that there are people on the streets who are so sophisticated that the U.S. government doesn't know. The U.S. government is the supreme law of the land. The U.S. government has intelligence in places of which you have no idea. The U.S. government has infiltrated every street gang in the United States. Every organization in the United States. The U.S. government has more intelligence than you and in any gang member in the United States of America and all of them combined. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You have no idea what you're talking about. Talking about the U.S. government doesn't know what the Vice Lords and the Bloods are doing. The U.S. government's not going to make a statement about Bloods and Vice Lords having an alliance unless Vice Lord members who are certified told the U.S. government that they have alliances with Bloods. There are Vice Lords who have alliances with Bloods and vice versa. There are Bloods who have alliances with Vice Lords. Look at the posts on my YouTube page. And you can see from people in the United States, in Georgia, down south, in New England, on the West Coast, in the Midwest, and they say, yeah, we have alliances. There are alliances. There are Bloods who threw up the fire. You're just some kid who picked up on some urban legend that Bloods don't have alliances with some Vice Lords and that some Vice Lords don't have alliances with Bloods. You picked that up somewhere. You're the net banger. You're the kid are you in Chicago? Have you been to Chicago? Don't tell me that there aren't Bloods in Chicago. There are Bloods from many different states who travel to Chicago every year. You trying to tell the world now that Bloods don't travel to Chicago? If Bloods travel to Chicago, then there's Bloods in Chicago. You're one of these stupid fucking kids that makes this shit up, man. You trying to say that Chicago is off limits to Bloods traveling? Come on, man, what are you talking about? Bloods travel to Chicago all the time, just like they travel to New York, just like they travel to LA from other states. There's cats from other states who go out to LA who have been Bloods for the past 15, 20 years and got put on a long time ago. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You're making all this shit up.